What's driving many people on the left? I think we can assume that there are some good people on the left, there are some good people on the right, and some people on the left are driven by wanting to make the world a better place, or wanting to stop. Very rich people have a great life, and people at the bottom have a shit life. But almost everyone in the Western or developed world now has at least a good life. There's a safety net. Life isn't really shit. You want to see a shit life? Go to India, go to Southeast Asia, go to Africa, go to poor countries that don't have free market capitalist democracy. Then you'll see what a shit life is like. Very few people in the West really have a shit life. But some people, especially on the centre left, probably have good intentions for this. Anyone who's a communist, they really know that you're going to get a gulag, you're going to get mass death, you're going to get torture and murder of your political opponents. Communists are just power-hungry, power grabbers. They just want power, and they're just sadists, basically. Communists are low IQ sadists. So putting them to one side, what you have is the bourgeois, extreme leftists in Labour and the Democrats. I think there's a big chunk of the left that's just fueled by jealousy. Feminists, intersectional feminists, are just jealous of men. Feminists want to take the good shit men have. Feminists don't have principles and aren't interested in equality because they want to take the good shit that men have, and they don't want any of the bad shit that men have. They want the rights with none of the responsibilities. Why do you never hear feminists campaigning for equal numbers of garbage collectors, or equal numbers of war deaths, or equal numbers of female homeless people? If feminists genuinely wanted men and women to be equal, to have the same situation in the patriarchy, they should be campaigning for equal numbers of homeless people, and equal numbers of workplace deaths, and equal treatment in custody of children, things like that. I've never heard a feminist ever talk about any of that stuff because they're not principled. Feminists are just jealous of men, and they just want to take men's shit. It's the same with extremist middle class or poor leftists. Again, they just want to take rich people's shit. They're jealous of rich people. Trump derangement syndrome, I think one of the main roots of Trump derangement syndrome is, academics, again, low IQ academics. Many academics are just fucking morons, especially the ones doing pretend courses like gender studies, women's studies, lesbian dance studies, bullshit courses like that require very little intelligence. These idiots, they're just jealous that Trump has so much money. That's why they hate Trump so much. Trump's a relatively normal president. He hasn't really done anything particularly outside what a normal Republican president would do. Trump's fine. But Trump derangement syndrome, which is so widespread, I think part of that just comes from jealousy. These people earning no money at university or doing bullshit jobs or working as baristas, they're just jealous of Trump. They want Trump's money. They're jealous of people who've worked extremely hard to get money. So again, jealousy fuels a lot of the left. It's nothing to do with principles. It's nothing to do with wanting to help people. It's nothing to do with making the world a better place. It's to do with taking power because they're greedy fucks, wanting to take stuff, not because they've earned it, not because they've worked hard, not because they've taken personal responsibility. It's about taking shit from people, just like Che Guevara and Castro did, just like the communists did, just like all these evil fucks took stuff from other people. Now, whether the other people they took stuff from, whether they were any better, that's another conversation to have. This isn't about creating things; it's about taking shit. Then there's the final group of leftists who are different. This is the rich leftists. This is the Silicon Valley set. These people are leftists, and Hollywood. Hollywood's such just watch the Oscars for examples of this. This is people who are as rich as fuck, and they cry themselves to sleep every night because they're so fucking guilty that they've got illegal immigrants working in their house as maids, while they're taking first class or flying private everywhere, in the most pampered life they could imagine. But in order to not be a hypocrite, they think they can salve their soul by saying woke shit. It's not how it works. It's not how it works, Brad Pitt, you fucking prick, saying that. And Hollywood's a great example of leftist guilt. Because it's just and again, Ricky Gervais just perfectly lampooned this. It's a perfect combination of rich, extreme left-wing morons who aren't very intelligent and aren't very informed, who are just consuming extreme left-wing media in an echo bubble. So Brad Pitt thinks he's going to go up there and accept his Oscar and sound smart. But he sounds like a fucking moron, because all of these bad factors all stacked on top of each other. Hollywood is just a freak show, and these A-list celebrities are the freaks that we're laughing at because of the perfect storm of moronity. Is that a word? Moronity? That they're all exuding. Being very rich, feeling extremely guilty about being very rich, probably not being very educated because they've been actors for years. Being in a bubble, a social bubble, living in a news bubble, so you're just getting an echo chamber of all the same bullshit, and not actually doing any work to try and study this stuff. This is a perfect recipe for being a moronic prick, which is what almost everyone in Hollywood is. How often do you think Brad Pitt watches Fox News or listens to any heterodox sources, listens to anything that's not extreme left? How many people does he know that aren't extreme left? I'm guessing it's zero all the way down there. That isn't how you get to the truth. That's how you get into a bubble. That's how you start repeating the same shit. That's how you know every one of your friends has exactly the same political opinion on exactly the same issue. That's how you know you're not interested in truth. You're just interested in being tribal in a very stupid, negative way. And you're interested in looking like a fucking moron on the international stage, which Brad Pitt did, which all of these Hollywood fucks do repeatedly. And the worst thing about it all is they're all fucking hypocrites. Going on about climate change, taking private jets, just like Elizabeth Warren, you hypocritical fucks. So I think the motivation for, if we put, genuinely good leftists or centre-left people to one side, of course there are some, it's either envy or guilt, which is what fuels most leftists, and you just need a big sprinkling of echo chamber, ignorance, and just a lack of heterodox news sources to just make that toxic hell stew even worse.
The Deviant Developer Podcast. Tap subscribe in any podcast app to never miss an episode. Please leave a review on iTunes and like on YouTube. It's essential to spread the word. To contact me or make a welcome donation, go to thedeviantdeveloper.com. Your support is greatly appreciated.